We're back with a bonus conversation you'll only see here on CBS News, New York. So, George, first question. What are the favorite places in your district that you like to go to?
I love going to the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point. It's gorgeous. It's the old Chrysler estate, so it oversees the entire Manhattan skyline. It also has a great history of bringing up stellar cadets. It's just a beautiful estate. It's beautiful property.
What's your favorite place in Washington?
When I leave the Capitol and go into my place in Washington, it's my favorite little place.
Did you have trouble finding a place to live?
No, I was very early to find something. I found anything before anybody knew who I was, but I'm 7 minutes walking distance from my office in the Capitol.
Well, that's great.
It's very easy.
So do you have a favorite place to shop?
I do, the Americana Mall.
So now everybody could go there. Like, what time?
Everybody already knew that. Everybody already knew that.
So what time will you be there on Saturday? Just kidding.
It depends.
So what does a typical day look for you now? Like, what is it like?
I'm early in the office. I'm usually an early bee in the office.
Like what time?
Anywhere between 7 and 8. There's days I'll come in 9 o'clock, but I usually tend to be the first person there.
And then what do you do?
It's all reading. This job requires an insurmountable amount of reading and research and reading constituent letters. Did you know a lot of the bills that I've put forward were all constituent based?
Well, especially the neuropathy bill for 9/11.
Neuropathy, the alimony bill, and the tax relief bill for the 501(c)(3) and the 401ks. So those are all things that came in via constituent suggestions, and we worked on it and became a bill.
So what surprised you most about Capitol Hill?
The hypocrisy.
Really?
I didn't think it was so hypocritical.
What's the worst thing that you see?
I mean, everybody thinks they're, holier than thou and want to point fingers and call you out and you're a problem and this and that, but they don't look at their own tail.
So have they done that to you? Have you had people in Congress that have done that to you?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've done it publicly. Look at the members of the New York delegation, the freshman Republicans. They all act as if they're holier than thou.
And what do you say to them?
I mean, look at yourself in the mirror. How about that? Like the aggressive judgments, the aggressive slanderous attacks. I mean, I don't clap back. I don't waste my time.
But didn't you think you brought some of that on by the inflating of your resume?
Sure, Marcia. Like I said, I might have been human and made mistakes. I owned up to it on national television. I wish the same people who criticize me had the same chutzpah to go on TV and do the same to millions of Americans.
So have you found your way around the Capitol yet?
Yes, now I do. Although I need to learn how to navigate Rayburn a little bit better, but it's a nightmare.
It's really hard, especially underground with all those.
Well, I've gotten really good with Longworth and getting to the Capitol. I actually now, shortcuts and everything. I know where the journalists hang out, so I avoid it. But it's always getting to this ice cream in Rayburn. It's always a challenge.
So how would you describe people in Washington versus people in New York?
So the difference is the fanfare and the craziness isn't in my district. I'm actually still well received in the district. People still treat me with dignity, respect, and they appreciate me for just being outspoken and for not backing down. Believe it or not, I get a lot of support that way.
So the one thing I cannot pass up are your socks, which you should stick them up so the camera can see. They say vote in blue.
In blue.
So those are Democrat socks?
I don't know. They're vote socks. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat.
Why are you wearing those socks?
Well, because I wear political socks, and I always send political messages through my socks, whether go vote or Republican elephant socks, just to signal I'm the I get a lot of compliments with the Republican elephant socks in airports.
How many pairs of political socks do you have?
Over 30.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Vote. That's why I put it on today. I just think vote is just an iconic thing. It's a freedom to choose who you want to represent you. It's a constitutional right. It's your birthright in this country. I think it's important. So
you've become so notorious. Who should play you if they made a movie of your life?
I don't know that I'll give the rights to the movie of my life. I think that's something.
You want to play yourself?
No, and I don't think that nobody cares to play a movie about me. I think that's just so premature. But
it's like Mr. Santos Goes to Washington.
That would be funny, but.
So who plays you in Mr. Santos Goes to Washington?
I don't know. Look, doesn't Leo DiCaprio play all these weird movies?
You want Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I want to be.
Why not Tom Cruise?
Oh no, I don't. I think Leo looks better.
Okay, fine. Do you have a best friend?
I do.
You want to tell me who it is?
Oh, my best friend's my husband, right? He's there for me. He's by my side, and he's through thick and thin, and he's my biggest cheerleader.
And how has he taken all the notoriety?
Hates it.
Especially when you're out to dinner and
hates it. Yeah, it's tough on him. It's taken an impact on him, but he supports me still, which I'm truly blessed.
So who would play your best friend in a movie of your life?
I have no clue. I don't know.
Do you have any tattoos?
I have one that I never talk about.
Well, can you tell me what it is?
It's just a nice little Latin. It's in Latin. It's a script. I'm a geek, so it's in a Latin scripture, and it has Mickey Mouse as the guy who, as if he was drawing it.
Can you tell me what the scripture says?
It's in Latin. It's essentially a self-love message in Latin. It's I couldn't even put it to words in translating it off the top of my head.
Is it someplace?
It's in my shoulder blade. I did it. I was 26 years old, in the moment that I said I've never done anything flashy.
Have you regretted it?
I want to remove it.
Really?
I do.
How come?
I don't know. I think it was a premature decision at 26.
So what would you do if you weren't a congressman?
I'd stay doing the business I had, the life I had. I was very happy with what I was doing, and it was productive.
In business?
I was essentially in the private equity industry. I was a capital introduction, call it specialist. I clawed out a niche in private equity that worked for me, essentially monetizing a Rolodex, which is something becoming more popular these days.
Having worked in Washington and experienced Washington, would you really want to go back to that, or
yes.
would you want to do something different?
No, I liked what I did. You never know what you have until you lose it.
So, last question. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as somebody who stood up to everybody in the time of adversity. I want people to draw strength from difficult times. I don't want people to cave. I don't want people to fumble. I want people to look and say, look, times might be tough, but there was always George Santos. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I think it takes a lot of resilience to go through what I've gone through, and I'm kind of impressed myself that I was able to withstand it. And I hope that other people can find inspiration in that for when they're faced with adversity, that they stay true to themselves and they center themselves and they keep fighting for what they believe in.
It was hard for you to say that.
Yeah, it's tough. It took a lot. Yeah, it's been tough, but I keep pounding away every day.
And there'll be another day.
Every day is a new day, and you're blessed to have it.
And you're running for re-election.
Yes, ma'am.
You want them to re-elect you?
I do. I would like the honor of being re-elected, because I think it would be a referendum that it's about the job, not about the personal attacks on politics.
And if you don't win? I
go back, next chapter of my life. It's a democracy, and I support it, and I think it's beautiful.
Congressman, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining me as well.